Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Shaurya Singh, the product head at Noodle PMS, and today we're going to be bringing you a video about how the Noodle PMS application has improved upon its financial section and why that's so important for property owners. And in about the next 1 week, we'll also have more news. We're going to be rebranding as we've gone through a round of angel funding, and that's some good development for us. But for all the property owners, whether you're a hotel owner, service apartment owner, Airbnb, or just a real estate company, the Nodal PMS is very ideal and useful for you to run your business and do a host of things, including manage your bookings, reservations, forms, IDs. You're able to get your analytics in time. You're also able to get your remarketing done via the WhatsApp integration. There's a channel manager integration. And well, you might ask me, there are a million PMS systems in the market. What makes us so different? We have built with ease and speed in mind. So those are the two great differences in our software. When you use the Nodal PMS, you'll find it very easy, and you just need very basic understanding of how to use computers, and you'll be able to be an expert on the Nodal PMS. That's the whole idea, that we don't want to complicate the software. We want to make it easy because we understand that running a hospitality or a real estate business itself is quite difficult. The last thing that we want is for you to be spending more time to learn a new software. So, without much ado, let's have a look at the new finance section. It's going to be very interesting for all of the people who really like to know what's happening in business. So, as you can see, we'll select a few properties. Let's say for the purpose of this, we'll select just two properties, and then you can select your own date range. So if I want to have a look at what had happened the previous month, I can just go here. And why this is so amazing, because first of all, you'll be able to reference all your data when you need it. You'll be able to have a look at all your invoices, your F&B invoices, your stay invoices. You can have a look at transaction trends. You can see your P&L, cash flow, and everything is linked. So there's not much effort required. And I know that a lot of hospitality people really like this data, that what is my ARR, how much am I selling for, how much money have I actually made, how much have I spent, how do I plan for the next month. That's very important, because many times we're running a business, we don't know what is going to be our spend the next month and how do I plan my finances. So the idea of the software is, it gives you a good view of what has happened in the past months, and it helps you to set up for the next month. Like, I'll just show you a few sections. Here you can have a look at your F&B services. It's going to give you the total amount, your stay invoices. You can see the number of invoices that you've generated. You can also have a look at graph and charts, and this is very helpful because it shows you a split, and that's important for you, so you can plan your marketing and BTL and other activities. So that I know that if I look at the sample property, I know that I've got majority of my bookings from walk-in. So that's very important. So maybe you want to prioritize your direct bookings, or incentivize your managers to take more bookings. And if I look at OTA, then you can actually look at the split between the different channels. That's very important, because it's going to show you that what kind of direct bookings am I going for. And if I just look at my OTAs, then I can actually see a split. Where am I getting my bookings from? That's very essential. So you can plan next month. You can talk to your marketing agency, or your reservations, or your revenue management company, or if you're managing everything yourself, this will give you a good idea how you can optimize things. Here you can also have a look at the way that you have bookings, which apartments are getting booked more. And the best thing is, you can actually select data from the start of the year or any particular date. You can also have a look at how your F&B is doing by having a look at number of carts that are created, because it's very similar to an e-commerce kind of transaction, where your guests can order themselves by just scanning the QR code, or your managers can order through the application or the tablet that is provided with this software. In addition, you can also have a look at transactions. This is very important. I understand this is eventually what it comes down to. We want to see what is it that we've actually earned against what is it that we're supposed to earn. Because many times you'll get a booking and the transactions might not come through. Then you might have to follow up with the OTA or the provider. So this is very good because it will help you understand where you stand in regards to your receivables. This is very important. It will also show you the mode of transactions. You can have a look at how, like for example, in this sample property, I see that bill to company is a massive part of the overall receivable. So even though you feel you've received it, then you can balance out your books by having a look at the BTC. So it's very powerful in that aspect that it makes things very simple. You can have a look at the kind of charge that what are the transactions that have actually earned you money. So whether it's a balance payment at checkout or it's a prepayment or payment after check-in. This is very important because you don't maybe you don't want your balance payment at checkout to be the biggest thing. You want to take more money upfront and those are your terms and conditions. So this will really help you to understand how your business is doing and will help you create more revenue. So I'm not going to talk about things like remarketing and those other features because those are not that important by this. But you need to know, like if I look at my inflow transactions, I want to see for the month of September, and I can actually see my mode of payment, and I'll know that okay, if I'm talking about cash, what kind of an inflow, which all transactions, date-wise transactions you'll have, and time-wise transactions. So there's it actually eliminates you missing out any transaction. Many times you get the money and you can't find it, or there's complication there. Maybe 8 transactions, 6 have not gone through. So you won't know which ones to go back to your bank for. So this is a software that is going to help you track those transactions, that which ones are the transactions that I want to follow through, and also just great information for you so that you know that okay, this is how I'm getting paid by credit card, this is how much I'm getting from, let's say, a different bank transfer, Stripe, PayPal, or any kind of payment source that you have. Segregation is going to help you understand. You can also have a look at the graph as I showed you. And then for your expenses, you can have a look how your expenses are doing. This is something that you can fill up, or if you have property managers, they can fill those up for you. So you'll be able to track your transactions, that what are the kind of transactions that expenses that my managers are incurring, fuel and groceries, repair and maintenance. So the idea is here to be able to capture a lot of the information in one place. We want you to be able to get your taxes also from here itself, because the software will give you a summary at the end of the month of all your invoices that you've generated, a GST sort of summary. So that is something that you can use to give to your CA when you're filing for GST returns. That is very essential. Or if you're a company who's not registered, you can see the amount of transactions that you have in anything. So you don't need to rely on external software, because all the number, your compliant invoices, everything will be here. So that is very important. And then as you keep inputting your expenses, that's something that can help you see a trend from months past, and you can plan your finances accordingly. Very easy to add expense. The form is extremely simple. I just showed this to show you that how easy we made it. You just select your property, you select the kind of, it's a GST invoice, net amount, you can actually enter the tax amount here as well. So this is something you can payment mode and just save the transaction, and you can even link your inventory to this. So there are many things, like if you're having a transaction where you're getting an inventory item, that is something as well. And then your profit and loss statement is something that in the end is calculated. So many things in terms of finance, you'll find them useful. The idea that we've had here, myself and the other co-founders, we've had that we want to make something which is simple. We do not want to complicate things, and yet at the same time we want to make it very powerful. That's the whole idea of the software, that there should be everything you need and nothing that you don't. And there are a lot of features like remarketing, WhatsApp integration, channel manager. Those are things that you would come to expect, but they've been executed in a way that will make life simple. So the idea is that managing your property should not be difficult. I mean, it's difficult enough to run a business. If you have a hospitality business, then your guests need to be happy with your service. The last thing you want is to focus more on a software. And the great thing is that there is no setup fee. It's a pay-as-you-go software, and we're using the best methodologies in terms of coding and how we've built this platform in terms of even data management or SSL security and stuff like that. An uptime of over almost 99.9%. So All those things will sort of add up to make this the perfect property management system and cash flow management system, and even just an application for you where your guests can scan and have a look at the menu and so on and so forth. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have any comments or suggestions, please do reach out.